All right, guys. So this is getting started with the Annie Mac mortgage app, getting your loan done from start to finish. So you click on Get Started, put your email and number. You're going to receive a verification code. You go ahead and verify that information. Create a password. Now you're going to notice here that I did create a password. I just put client123. You can choose a password of your choice, of course. But then I get an error. You do have to have at least 9 characters, has the uppercase letter, a lowercase letter, and a number. No special characters. So I just made the C capital and called it a day. So that was done. Then you're going to go ahead and move forward to the next step. You're going to have access to the app. On top, you're going to see your realtor. On the bottom, you're going to see your loan officer. You can actually get started right there by clicking Start Your Loan Process. You're going to say, what's your purpose? For this one, we put a purchase. And say we're using our own funds and checking and savings. So you just answer the questions appropriately, what you're looking to buy, or if you're going to be living in that residence, what's the price that you've seen, and what do you want to get qualified for, how much you're putting down. You can put an amount or a percentage if you're a first-time home buyer. And then you're going to go ahead and start putting some of your personal information, such as your name, your address. Now, keep in mind that whatever you fill in here can be fixed on my end, or you can go ahead and edit that later. But, put it to the best of your ability. Just fill it out the best you can. Now, the better it's filled out, the, less I'll probably have to be bothering you and calling you. So, just put in how long you've lived there. If you rent or own. If you do rent, they're going to ask you for how much is your rent payment. So you go ahead and put that in. Of course, this is all just for a sample, so you fill it in correctly. If you own any real estate, it'll ask you about that. But if you don't, you just move forward to your social security, your date of birth. This is essential that it's correct because, of course, for a mortgage application, we do pull credit and we want to make sure that we don't have to re-pull. If we put wrong information, then typically we have to re-pull. So then, of course, your marital status, if you're a veteran. All these questions, guys, is a standard mortgage application, okay? It has nothing to do with just Annie Mac. It's just a standard way to get a loan. So you go ahead, you provide e-consent. This pretty much says that you are okay not signing real physical paper, that you're okay signing electronically. But definitely, as you can see, you can't just click it. You have to click here, and then you go ahead and move forward. So then you're just going to put some stuff about your employment information, your income information. You will be able to put multiple sources of income, depending if you're a W-2 or a self-employed borrower. You will have the ability to specify that in detail. This, guys, is essential to getting a loan application approved. It's interesting because depending on how you fill this out, at the end, you'll be able to upload documents and it'll tell you exactly what you need to upload. Now this here, you do want to try to match it to your pay stub or your W-2, as when we go do a verification of employment, however this is put in there, will be checked. But again, we can always verify this. Now this here is interesting. If you are okay with the bank getting a hold of your bank statements directly, you can go ahead and click automatic check. Otherwise, you can enter the information and just submit your bank statements later. But some people find it really handy to be able to just connect, the bank directly. But that's totally up to you. So of course, if you have any additional assets, you can disclose that. Now, here's the very important questions. These are, some disclosures like, are you going to own the property? Have you owned any other properties? And I suggest, I just put no for all, but I do suggest, I ask you, please, 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 to definitely Read these. It's pretty straightforward, but please read it and answer it appropriately, as this can affect the qualification ability. So please read through these. Now, this is always an awkward one. You know, what the ethnicity, race, things like that. This is really for compliance purposes. They want to make sure that banks and people are not discriminating. So doesn't affect your ability to get a mortgage, but it does help institutions be held accountable if there's any type of nonsense like that. So, if you wish to not provide, that's totally fine, but it's always very helpful to provide that. You can go and just review all of the information you submitted. Woohoo, almost done. Here's just going to give a summary of your entire application. You can go ahead and submit that. So when you submit it, as I told you, you will have some tasks. Now you have to upload a couple of documents, and therefore we can go ahead and conclude your mortgage application, or pre-approval, I should say. And it's kind of interesting. If you were to get in a contract here, you would see what step you would be in your process. So kind of neat, processing, underwriting, getting approved, clear to close, hooray, hooray. In this app, you'll also find the ability to get some information on your realtor, on your lender, and things of that nature. And also, you can use actually a mortgage calculator. So if you're looking to get a home, you would click what kind of financing you're getting, put in the sales price, the down payment amount, taxes. The rate, you can ask your loan officer what kind of rate should be put in at that time. But keep in mind, guys, rates change multiple times a day. So, you want to make sure that you're putting in something that's, reasonable for the timeline it's going to take you to get your house, even though it's subject to change. So here you can go ahead and leave that as is, or you can put in an amount for the insurance, taxes, based on the homes you've seen on the market. Your FICO score is very important to calculate that pretty approximately. So you just fill all that out. So this is kind of neat. You go ahead and you have like a breakdown of what your mortgage would be for said house. On your documents, there's the documents that you signed and also documents that you upload, so you can have access to everything right at your fingertips. They're here. This is a neat little tool here. It's a lot of articles and news and glossary. Sometimes your loan officer or your realtor may say a word that you don't really know what it is. So here, as you can see, there's a lot of terms that are used in the industry that may apply to you.